Hello all, my name is Krish Nayak and welcome to my YouTube channel. So guys, in this specific video, we are going to talk about an important thing that is nothing but job market, right? And this video will be specifically important for everyone who is currently working in different companies. If you really understand this market, you will also be able to understand how you really need to upskill so that you are up to date with the pattern of the jobs that are currently going on. Now, why I'm making this specific video, as you all know, guys, I have been in this industry from past 13 to 14 years. I have spent huge amount of times. I have amazing connections, people working in both product-based companies, service-based companies. If I consider product-based companies like Nvidia, we have AMD, we have Facebook, Meta. I have known many number of people from different companies itself. If I talk about service-based, from Infosys to TCS to PwC to all the different companies that are existing, right? So I know people out there, right? And as you all know that we also teach in our live boot camps, we keep on changing every 2 to 3 months, we keep on changing the syllabus. And the syllabus is basically derived from the changes with respect to the job market, what is actually required in the industry, right? And recently I've been talking to many project managers, many managers, many employees who are specifically working in different companies to just understand what they are currently doing, what is the kind of requirements that are actually coming up, right? So based on this, a very good JD, a job description that is specified in most of the jobs that who are searching specifically in the field of AI, right? Like AI engineers or LLM ops engineers. So if you're going to MLOps, right? I have actually designed a simple JD by talking to all the specific people. And in this JD, I've spoken about some very important things that is being currently being asked in every jobs. Okay. And that is what I will be discussing in this specific video. If you go through this particular job description, these are the minimum skill sets that you really need to have. And these skill sets will keep on getting added. More things will get added as the job market changes and new things actually comes up, right? So please make sure that you watch this video till the end. It is important for everyone. Let me tell you, if you watch this video till the end and after watching the video, if you feel you did not get the right kind of information, do definitely comment down in the comment section. I will definitely have a look. But I think there will be very less number of people saying that, okay, this is not true. Okay. So now I will just go ahead and share my screen. As I said that from the past 6 to 7 months, I have spoken to many engineers, managers, HR people, finance people, different companies, even from product based, service based companies. And this is the actual kind of job description. I've even searched in LinkedIn, okay, in LinkedIn for various jobs. Out of this, 80 percentage of the roles and responsibilities actually matches along with the skill set. Now, first of all, before going ahead over here, I would like to talk about how the job roles are existing right now. Okay. There are three main important sections with respect to the job roles. Okay. The first section is something called as core engineering. Okay. So I will just go ahead and give this. So one is actually, let me again go ahead and write this. Something is really, if I talk about the first section, it is nothing but core engineering. In the core engineering, here we only talk about technicalities, right? Programming languages. Let's say you're using any kind of LLM models, any kind of libraries, all these things is over here, right? Second, very important thing is about production and infrastructure, like how you are making sure to do the deployment, which cloud platform, what all things to basically learn. And third thing is all about mindset. Okay. So most of the job roles right now that exist is actually divided into this three section. Now let's go ahead and see this specific job role. Okay. And this job role I have actually designed by seeing many number of jobs that exist right now in LinkedIn, in Naukri, in different job portals. Okay. And even after confirming with all the people who is working out there, I've actually spoken to 50 to 60 people in different like they are having different experience base itself. So here you can see the first job requirement, like first, if I talk with respect to the requirement is you need to have a bachelor's or master degree in computer science, AI/ML or equivalent practices experience. Now this is the minimum, education qualification that you really need to have to get into this. Yes, I've seen many people, if you do not have a degree also, they have been able to make a transition, but the percentage is very less. As I said that I will take that median mean, right? How many people, maximum number of people who are getting hired specifically are having this kind of thing. The second important job description is that proficiency of Python development experience. Okay. And strong software engineering fundamentals. Okay. This is really, really important. Proficiency, you really need to have a good Python development. And this kind of job roles is basically for AI engineers, AI builders, AI generalist. You can consider all these kind of roles. Okay. So specifically in the field of AI, I'm not worried about front end, back end, Java, all these things. Okay, I'm talking more about AI engineers over here. Okay, because this is the kind of experience that I have. I have around 14 plus years of experience. I started working in 2011. I started working in the AI field from 2013. Okay, then you have hands-on experience building application with LLM APIs. Now this is really, really important. You should know how to actually build application with LLM APIs. You can also use Cloud API. You can use OpenAI Codex. You can use Cloud Code. You can use Google Gemini, anything. But at the end of the day, if you have this good Python development experience, writing code with OpenAI models or Anthropic models, it becomes very easy. Why? Because you are mostly just going to give the requirements with some kind of human approval for it on top of it, and you should be able to get the entire code. Okay, but you will be able to understand the code, how it is written, why it is written, only if you have a good strong Python development background. Okay, specifically most of the code I'm considering with respect to Python. So this is really, really important. You need to know how to build application, how to go ahead and write test use cases, how to execute them, how to make sure to integrate different kind of test cases in your application, how to make sure that whatever code that you're writing, how in what structured format, you really need to provide that instruction to the LLM API. Okay. And as I said, you can use Cloud Code, you can use OpenAI Codex, you can use Google Gemini, any kind of models. Okay. I'm not worried about accuracy and all. I'm just trying to understand that, okay, at the end of the day, you know all these things because you're good at Python development and you want to quickly be productive in just giving the requirements, writing the code. You should know how to go ahead and do the commit in the GitHub, how to merge all the stories, how to go ahead and write all the use cases, how to make sure to write the use cases in such a way that other teams, if you're committing those, they should be able to understand. Okay. Now, this is the third important JD, right? Job description. Then you have something called as deep understanding of transformer architecture, attention mechanism, and model capabilities. So this all will be super important in understanding like what kind of use cases, how you really want to solve. And for that, in any kind of interviews that you go, you will be asked questions based on this, right? You will be asked questions based on this. You will be asked questions based on this. Then you need to have experience with vector databases and embedding models for semantic search. See, most of the companies right now, they also focus on building RAG application. One of the common use cases, RAG, right? It can be a vector RAG, it can be vectorless RAG. It is up to you based on the requirement. And I have also even made a video. What is the differences between traditional RAG versus traditional vector RAG versus traditional vectorless RAG, right? Uh, you should know the clear difference, when you should know that one, when you should know one, what you should basically implement and when should you implement it. Okay, that is really important. And if you know all these things, this kind of questions are definitely going to come. Okay. Proficiency with ML frameworks like PyTorch, TensorFlow, Hugging Face ecosystem, and there are also different kind of open source libraries like, let's say, like LangChain, LangGraph, Creo AI. LangGraph is super powerful for developing workflows, all those things, right? So I would like to again suggest LangChain, LangGraph. These are also very common um, you know uh, open source libraries that are specifically used to develop workflows. Okay, so through this ecosystem, through this ML frameworks, you should definitely be able to understand how to implement things and how to build things. Okay, then it comes to strong knowledge of prompt engineering. techniques and in context learning, right? In context learning is a very new term that is currently going on. The more better context to the LLM model, the more better output. Okay. Now, if you consider this, if I see from this second point to this point, it is more about development. So here you will be able to see it is more about core engineering problem. Here you are focusing on how to implement things. Okay, how to implement things, whether you're implementing a production based systems, whether you're implementing a RAG application, whether you're implementing any kind of problem statement that you're working on, right? So this point till this point focuses on this. Now if you see over here, experience with MLOps practices including model versioning, monitoring, deployment, then here you have AWS, GCP, Azure, and containerization with Docker and Kubernetes. This actually focuses on how you can ship your product to the production with the best practices and such a way that you are making the product scalable, whatever product you are actually defining or creating, right? So here you will be able to see that we are talking about production and infrastructure, how you can ship this entire product to the production so that the entire world should be able to use it or your client should be able to use it, right? So that is the simple mechanism over here, right? So that is the reason we have divided this into two core important things right now: core engineering and production infrastructure. So this is also what is currently required because most of the coding are being done by the LLM models right now, right? You're able to understand the techniques, you're able to deploy, you are able to develop the entire application quickly. The next step is that how you probably take it into the production. So there you really need to focus on model versioning, monitoring, deployment, containerization. You have to learn about Dockers, Kubernetes, K8 platform, how to make it scalable, all those things, right? Now coming to the third very important thing. I hope recently you have heard about a story, right? You have heard about a story called as Pocket OS company, right? The AI agent, they are using a cursor AI agent with your, Claude model that is Opus, right? And at the end of the day, for doing a task in the staging environment, the AI agent tried to do its best and deleted the entire production database, right? And it also confessed, right? So that was the scenario over there. Now, one very important thing is that whenever we talk about using AI agents, and that is what is going to happen in the future, everybody is going to use the AI agents because it is going to become fast. Your task is going to become faster. Your task is going to the repetitive task that you usually do, it will get automated completely. So, one important thing that you really need to consider is about AI security, right? AI security. Now, that is where your AI safety, alignment, ethical consideration will actually come into picture, right? You will be having techniques like guardrails, evaluations. When we talk about ethical consideration, should we really implement this, right? So that particular ethical consideration will also come into picture in the future since we are going to use this kind of AI agents again and again. And when we talk about AI safety, are we using AI safely or not? On top of it, you'll also be seeing that we'll be implementing things like guardrails. You'll be seeing that we'll have evals, right? So this is all techniques like how we are controlling the AI agent, till what extent we are controlling the AI agent, right? For implementing things, doing things is fine. But when we give the larger thing access, the AI may will be doing something else where you're given the complete autonomy for the AI to do everything, right? So that is the scenario where we need to think about. And this kind of problems, right? New kind of problems may come up because still we are in the start of using AI agents extensively in our day-to-day work, right? So that is really important. And the last thing is very simple. One is about problem solving skills. One is about strong communication skills to explain AI concepts to various stakeholders. So this is definitely gonna be there because you're going to talk to the client, you're going to solve their use cases and all. So this is the most ideal JD that actually will be existing. And I could actually go ahead and see in LinkedIn, you guys just go and search for AI engineer jobs, AI builders, AI generalists. 80 percentage of the JD will match this. And trust me, if you learn 80 percentage of these things, your interview is definitely going to go successfully because you know what you really need to explain, right? And this entire image, you will be able to see that it is based on these three important things: core engineering, production infrastructure, and mindset, right? If you are having these three things with respect to any jobs related to AI, trust me, it is very easy for you all to crack this. You really need to understand the job market. Now, these pointers may increase, some pointers may get removed as new things basically come in the AI agents. But one thing that I know, right? Many people know how to develop an AI agent. Many people know how to create a workflow, right? But many people who is basically lagging is on the AI security part. When I talk about AI security, I'm basically talking about how to implement guardrails, how to implement evals, how to implement in such a way that ethically it is safe. When we talk about AI safety, we also need to probably go ahead and take care of it. So all these things will basically be coming up, right? And trust me guys, with respect to all our boot camps, the live boot camps, the live cohorts that we actually teach, we also make sure that we cover almost all of these things whenever we are teaching anyone. And we also make sure to cover new things that are coming in the market, considering different scenarios that are actually happening in the market itself, right? And that's the reason I'm super blessed to have so many people connected to me in LinkedIn and all, where I get a chance to talk to them, just understanding how what things are basically happening in the company. So I hope you like this particular video. This was it from my side. I'll see you in the next video. Have a great day. Thank you and all. Take care. Bye bye.